Everybody's right. Hodja was once a judge. One day a man came to his house to complain about his neighbor. Hodja listened carefully and then said to him, "My good man, you are right." The man went away happy. In a little while, the first man's neighbor came to see Hodja. He complained about the first man. Hodja listened carefully to him too, and then said, "My good man, you are right." Hodja's wife had been listening to all this, and when the second man left, she turned to Hodja and said, "Hodja, you told both men they were right. That's impossible. They both can't be right." Hodja listened carefully to his wife and then said to her, "My dear, you are right." The Dead Donkey. When Hodja's wife died, he was heartbroken, and he mourned for days. His friends tried to comfort him. One of them said, "Hodja, please don't worry, my friend. We'll find a new wife for you." Sometime later, Hodja's donkey died, and he seemed to be even more unhappy. Again, everyone tried to comfort him, but it did no good. His sadness only increased. Finally, one of them said, "Hodja, why are you so sad?" Hodja responded to him like this, "My friend, when my wife died, everyone promised to find another wife for me, but now that my donkey has died, nobody has offered to get me another donkey." The Wonderful Vegetable Dish. For a while, Hodja served as advisor to the king. One day, the king's chef prepared a very tasty dish of eggplant and other vegetables. As Hodja and the king were eating, the king asked Hodja, "Isn't this dish the best you have ever eaten?" "Oh, yes, Majesty, the very best," said Hodja. "Then I want it served every day," said the king. But after 10 more meals, the king turned to Hodja and said, "Take this away. This food is terrible." "Yes, indeed it is," Hodja agreed. "But, Hodja," the king said, "just a few days ago you said this was a wonderful dish." "Oh, I did, your Majesty, but I serve you, not the vegetables." No Helva at home. Hodja and some friends were discussing food one day. One of the men asked Hodja which food he liked best. Hodja replied that he liked helva, a dessert that is made of flour, butter, and sugar. "But unfortunately, we never have it at our house," said Hodja. His friends asked him why, and he replied, "Well, when we have flour, there's no sugar. When there is sugar, we have no butter. When there is butter, there's no flour." "But certainly," said one of the men, "at some time, all of the ingredients must be available at the same time." "Yes," said Hodja, "that's true. There was a time when we had everything, but unfortunately, I wasn't at home then." The Noisy Coat. Hodja and his wife sometimes quarreled like any married couple. One night, they got into a fierce quarrel. The next day, when Hodja left the house, he seemed to be very angry. "What happened last night?" a neighbor asked. "Oh, my wife and I just had a little argument," said Hodja. "Yes, we heard you. But what was that loud noise at the end of the quarrel?" "Oh, that," said Hodja. "My wife was so angry she threw my coat down the stairs." The neighbor was puzzled. "But a coat wouldn't make so much noise," said Hodja. It did, my friend, because I was in it. A Great Soldier. A group of soldiers came to the village tea shop and began to talk about their battles and success in war. The villagers listened eagerly as the soldiers described how they fought and chased away the enemy. Hodja, who had never really been a great soldier, wanted to get some of the attention. "That reminds me of the time," said Hodja, "when, with one swing of my great sword, I cut off the leg of an enemy soldier." One of the soldiers then turned to Hodja and said, "It would have been better to cut off his head." "Of course," said Hodja, "but somebody else had already done that." No loan for you. One day a friend came to Hodja to ask him for a loan. Hodja did not really trust the man, and he expected that he would never be repaid. Nevertheless, he was a friend, so Hodja loaned him the money. Hodja was surprised when, a few days later, the man came back and repaid the loan in full. A month or so later, the friend came back for another loan and said to him, "You know, my credit is good, Hodja. I repaid my last loan in just a few days." But Hodja said to him, "You deceived me before. You repaid the loan, and I thought you wouldn't. But you won't deceive me again, because this time I won't give you a loan." Pepper Soup. Hodja's wife was very angry with him one day, so she decided to play a trick on him. She prepared a soup for the evening dinner and put a lot of hot pepper in it. Just before serving the soup, she decided to taste it. That was a mistake. Even a small spoonful was so hot it brought tears to her eyes. As she served Hodja the soup, he noticed her tears and asked her why she was crying. "I am crying because my poor dear mother is dead and gone," said Hodja's wife. Then Hodja took a spoonful, and tears came to his eyes also. His wife, trying to hide her pleasure, asked him, "And husband, why are you crying?" Hodja replied, "I am crying because your poor dear mother is dead and gone, and you are alive and here." The Underweight Coin. A stranger came up to Hodja and asked him to change a gold coin. Actually, Hodja didn't have any money, but he didn't want to admit it, so he took the coin and studied it carefully. Then he handed the coin back to the man, saying, "I'm sorry, my friend, but this coin is underweight. I can't give you its face value." "That's all right. Just give me what it's worth," said the stranger. "Oh, but it's very underweight," said Hodja. "But Hodja, I need the change right away. Just give me whatever it's worth." Hodja looked again at the coin and then said, "My friend, this coin is so underweight that if I change it, you will owe me money." An even better tip. One day Hodja went to the Turkish bath. He was poorly dressed, and the attendants gave him only a small piece of soap, a dirty, torn towel, and very poor service. When he had finished, he tipped each of the attendants a nice gold coin as he went out the door. A few days later, Hodja came back again, only this time he was dressed in his finest clothes. Of course, the attendants treated him much better, expecting an even better tip. As he went out the door, he gave each of them a worthless copper coin. "Hodja," one of them said, "we treated you very well. Why do you tip so poorly?" Hodja smiled and said, "The copper coins are for the first time I came. The gold coins were for this time."